everyone, my name is Leanne and today I am bringing you a bit of a special book haul. You may notice a bit of a gap in my shelves. I mean, there's also a massive gap down here. I have a whole shelf that is blank, but I absolutely should not be getting more books. Anyway, that's not the point. There is a stack of books that is normally here that is now missing because I'm going to tell you about them today. I have recently become a subscription box girly. Now, I've always been very aware of subscription boxes. It's something that I've also had a lot of dealings with in my professional work life, but it is only in recent months that I have taken the plunge and become a proper subscription box girly, because there now feels like there is a subscription box that is for me, and that is the Afterlight box by Illumicrate, which is a romance focused subscription box. So I have subscribed to their monthly box. I'm going to be showing you a couple of the monthly books. I'm not going to be trying to get my hands on absolutely everything that they do in terms of the other special editions that are external to the monthly boxes, but as a bit of a birthday treat for myself back in December, I did get these. Now, these are the gorgeous Illumicrate editions of Rachel Lynn Solomon's books for adults. So the X-Talk and Weather Girl, I'd already read these. I had them in paperback, so I've since gotten rid of those paperbacks. I read both of these and I completely loved them. And I hadn't read Rachel Lynn Solomon's new book, Business or Pleasure, yet. So I thought there was this gorgeous set out there. I was going to replace my paperbacks with these and get the new book in this gorgeous hardback. I'm going to do some nice little cutaways so you can see all of these books in their full glory with all of their gorgeous details, but they have these brilliant sprayed edges. They also have this amazing foil design on the wibbling. So on naked hardbacks, when you have that kind of slightly textured, it looks a bit like cloth, but it is actually paper. That thing on naked hardbacks, that's called wibbling. And these are also all signed as well, which is lovely. I won't talk about the X-Talk or Weather Girl because I've spoken about them a couple of times on the channel before, but Business or Pleasure sounds so interesting to me. It's about a woman named Chandler who is a ghostwriter. That's her profession. And her next job is to write a book for the kind of cult movie star Finnegan Walsh. However, this guy is also Chandler's worst ever one-night stand. She's determined to keep this kind of working relationship professional, but she ends up admitting to him that their night together wasn't that great. And they end up striking this deal where they are going to work on the book together during the day, and in the night, she's going to be schooling him on how to be better in bed, basically. This just sounds like such a funny setup for a romance book. Now, this next one is actually the one that I feel really drew me into this subscription box, and I actually ended up getting this one on Depop, and that is Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. Now, all I need to know is that this is a sapphic football romance. I don't really feel like I need to tell you anything else about this because that's the reason that I wanted to read it. This is also signed. It has these really nice end papers and has the cover illustration on the wibbling as well. It also has these gorgeous kind of faded color ombre sprayed edges that also has the football on the bottom. What I really like about these books as well is that they are B format hardbacks. So they are the same sort of size as a standard paperback, but they are hardbacks. So they're not obnoxiously big. You can actually kind of read these books. Don't get me wrong, I love a big decorative art piece hardback. I love how kind of luxe they are. You can play around with stuff a lot more to make it a real piece of art. But I do really want to read these, so these are perfect. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. So you may know Talia Hibbert from Get a Life, Chloe Brown, so the Brown Sisters series. There's 3 of those. And this is a young adult book from Talia Hibbert, from the same author. This is about the romance between a pair of former best friends who have grown apart over the years. One of them has become super popular and the other one kind of hasn't. And the only thing that they now share is this very intense academic rivalry. They sign up for this really intense physical survival course in the woods, and then they are forced to work together through that. And I guess they just kind of reignite that connection, recognize how well they get on, the chemistry between them over the course of that survival course. This one also has the main kind of cover image of the 2 main characters in foil on the wibbling, but also has these super cute pink heart sprayed edges as well. Next, I have Second Chances in Newport Stephen by TJ Alexander. Just to be clear, this one is published by the place that I work. What I'm really excited about this one for is just, it's not like other romance books that I've read. It's a bit more diverse in terms of the experiences that I normally read in romance books. For a start, we have a trans main character, which I think we should be seeing more and more in romances. But also our main characters are a little bit older than I typically read in my romances. I think they are like in their 40s. And I think one of our main characters is dealing with experiences of kind of going sober, sobriety, that kind of thing. And I think it's so exciting to be reading romances that have characters who have just lived a bit more life, you know? So our main character, Eli, is returning to his hometown in Florida for the first time in absolutely ages. He's a completely different person compared to when he left many years ago. But when a scandal is threatening his comedic and television career, he decides to go back to his hometown. And I absolutely love a return to your hometown vibe. It is also when he's there that he bumps into his high school ex and they rekindle a little something something. This one also has gorgeous end papers. It is signed and I absolutely love the foil. I think they're manatees on the Wiblin. They are so gorgeous. And the final book I'm going to talk to you about is At First Spite by Olivia Dade. So this book follows the aftermath of an engagement breakup. Now I don't quite understand yet how this ends up happening, but the female main character in this relationship bought her ex-fiance a really thin house as a wedding present. So it's like this really narrow house, like it's only 10 feet wide. This home is also right next door to her ex's house that he owns, and his brother is living there. His brother, who was the one that convinced her ex-fiance to call off the engagement. I'm already getting a little bit confused. But obviously this is like a really annoying, frustrating situation for her to be in, having to move into this tiny, tiny house and be right next door to the guy that convinced her fiance to end things with her. So she decides to get her own back, to do things that are going to be really annoying, to get her revenge. For example, playing erotic audiobooks on a really high volume. So like obviously they're going to get it on as well, like obviously. But I'm really intrigued to see like that energy, that kind of enemies to lovers, how like this feeling of spite, as the title says, creates tension in what will eventually obviously be them flirting and getting it on. This also has really gorgeous end papers. It's signed and it has this completely gorgeous illustration of the houses printed on the PLC hardback, and the edges I'm completely obsessed with. This kind of like galaxy starry night top and bottom, and these stunning strawberry sprayed edges. So we had some tech problems, and the final portion of this video where I've been taking you through my Afterlight books has vanished. It is dead. RIP last 2 minutes of the video. But actually in the time between me filming that footage and now, my latest monthly box has arrived, so I'm going to tell you about the book that was included in that. And that was A Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. Now, I have been seeing this book everywhere, and I knew that the theme for this month's box was Who's Your Caddy? So I had kind of guessed that this was going to be the book included. I have quite a few Tessa Bailey books on my TBR. She's a really prolific romance writer. I think I've got 5 of her books on my shelves already, and I haven't read them. So what's one more added to the pile? This is a sports themed romance, and I love sports romances. I just think that kind of competitive energy is something that lends itself to romantic and sexual tension beautifully. But I can't say I've ever thought about golf being one of those sports that I would like to see in a sports romance. So I'm going in with an open mind. This one has beautiful end papers as well, where you can really see the dynamic between these two lead characters. This is what's on the Wibbelin, and I completely love these sprayed edges as well. I love when kind of the illustration that's on the jacket goes round onto the sprayed edges. I just really love that as an effect. Thank you for spending time with me while I show you my Afterlight books. Are you interested in subscription boxes? Do you like the fantasy ones? Do you like romance ones like I do? And I would love to know what some of your favorite kind of design features that you get in these really luxe hardbacks are. That is it for me today. I hope you're doing well, and I will speak to you in my next video.